I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but I like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet, maneuver in silence to let them in, chalk up their body, another one body, that's just how it go. I got some secrets, I'm shaking the game so they stay on their toes. Stay in your lane, how to stay on the go. I came to play with the pros and act like a rookie, so they overlook me. They're not double up again, none of their knows, none of them cold. They just got lucky but never adapted, so I'm to the one that just come with the blows. My enemies is cutting it close. I let them think that they got me, but what do you know? I had them beat before we ever spoke.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Startups on the Blocks. I'll give everybody a chance to come over from the networking and we can start celebrating our first anniversary of Startup on the Blocks. We're excited to be here, and it's been an interesting journey over the past year, but it's been an exciting journey. We've made a lot of connections and been helping founders kind of move forward with their ideas and everything. So you got me today. I'm going to kind of do like a year in review a little bit here with Startup on the Blocks and making sure we're all on the same track with the principles and everything that we're doing to kind of move forward. We're here for startup founders. We're here for people that help startup founders. We're here for people that help founders build their MVPs, and we're here to learn the best practices. We're here to kind of help people get connections to money, which is always a good thing. And so before I get into my slide presentation, I thought it might be a good idea if I kind of review some of the things that are available to us in the ecosystem right now. So I'll share the newsletter that I sent out yesterday, just to kind of give people, just in case you hadn't really looked through the email. And basically what I'm trying to do with this little newsletter here is just make sure everybody's on the same sheet of music about what we're doing. And so like there are a lot of resources out there for founders, and so there's a methodology that you have to use as a founder if you want to be successful. And so we just want to make sure you're aware of those things. So in the first part of the email, we show some of the things that we recommend for you to kind of get on the right track. But the main one in this first section for all founders is this lean startup methodology and a lean startup methodology. And so you really have to get a handle on that, because if you don't get a handle on that, most of the resources that are listed in here are not going to actually do you any good, because you have to be able to communicate your idea based on a business model, a lean canvas business model. And then for our founders of color, there are some sites that out there that kind of help you network with other founders of color. But the good thing about a lot of these sites is they literally connect you with other resources for founders of color. And so that's kind of the purpose of those, because if there's a lot of information, there's a lot of resources out there, and you have to be a part of the community and get connected. And here are some links for women founders. And so that's important too, because a lot of the programs are targeted to women founders. So we talk about funding opportunities. Everybody always say they need cash, or they need some money or whatever, and it's the it's a real challenge because the uh, the money, and getting connected to the money, you have to apply. And so guess what? When you're applying for the money, most of the stuff is based on your business model that you created with the lean canvas. So if you haven't did that, you're dead in the water. So you're not going to be able to communicate your idea to some of these things. So if you have to spend time working on your business model, because nothing else matters, there are all these opportunities in the world. In this section, there's probably over $1.5 million of opportunities that are currently available for founders and founders of color. And so, in order to take it, so you got these things out here. So some of these, like here, G Beta is open for the fall class, and some of you have participated in the G Beta program, and some of you are currently participating in the G Alpha program. But the bottom line is, when you put in that application, they're going to want to know what is your you pitch your business idea, and what's your revenue model and all that good stuff. So if you haven't spent time working on that, you're not going to get in that program. And this Bronx Valley Accelerator here, that's another one that's open. The deadline's coming up. But that was actually, I think, in somewhere up near Huntsville or Birmingham. But and Didi actually participated in the last cohort for that, and she came on and talked a little bit about that. But so these first two, they don't necessarily offer you any cash, but you actually get connections. They both offer over $1 million of worth of services that you can actually get access to in building your stuff. And so John and Jessica, I think they participated in the last cohort, and they got to talk to probably 36 or more investors. They got pretty close to getting some funding in there, but the bottom line is there's a even when you get in there or something, get in these programs, you still need to know communicate the language of a startup. So that lean startup methodology will help you get down the track. So just recently they started back up the $100,000 quarterly pitch competition, for the Atlanta Startup Battle. And so that's an example, if you decided to pitch in there, but you got to have a strong pitch, because they get like over 500 applications for that. And it's a little bit different because I think they used to want like 10% equity in your company. Now, and so one of the things as a founder, you need the knowledge, and we try to help provide a bunch of the knowledge that you need, but we connecting you with programs that you can do. So the CEO is a opportunity that's open out there now that you can register for. It's the free entrepreneurship class, and it's actually part of an apprenticeship program thing. So they're teaching you how to be an entrepreneur. And the Florida Venture Forum, they do this early stage capital conference a couple of times a year. They normally have 2 or 3 pitch events a year where the prizes are always in the 100K range. And so all of these opportunities, some of them are a lot more challenging. Here's something that's locally, the 1 million cups, over in Okaloosa County. I'm not sure what's going on with that now, but they were having trouble getting people to actually present, and they were offering $5,000 grants, just for presenting your idea, at 1 million cups. That's almost like free money, and I can't imagine them not getting enough applications to kind of move that forward. And those are kind of opportunities that were available for all founders. And then you got these some of these things that are available for for founders of color. Now, Generator has a whole diversity and inclusion program. So if you click that link, you're going to see all the programs they have that are oriented around founders of color. And so, but they got stuff for musicians out there. It's just a lot of neat things. This Morgan Stanley Multicultural Innovation Lab, that's a big time opportunity because you're getting 200, and that's for founders of color. So $250,000. I'm not sure what the equity stake they wanted, something like that, but it's still a great opportunity. And I'm pretty sure this Amazon Business Accelerator is going to close pretty soon as well. And so let's see what else we got going on here. So so there's some small grants out there as well. And to kind of go out. And believe me, this is just a smattering of opportunities out there. But if you don't do the work, if you don't develop your business model and pitch your business model, all these things are for naught. You literally have to, to get to the bottom, get your pitch your idea to kind of move forward. And looks like there's plenty more stuff for women out there, but you literally just have to start Googling and searching and getting on the email list, and you will get connected to these opportunities. This Black Girl Ventures, they fund Black women, so you can apply to pitch, but I don't want to be a broken record, but you definitely have to learn that lean startup methodology and kind of move forward with that. And so for nonprofits, that's there's some interesting funding opportunities out there for nonprofit, but a lot of the opportunities are in and around tech nonprofits. So you always have to be working on a scalable idea, and so you have to keep your eye on the events and stuff. Some of these local events, may get postponed, just like the Gulf Power Symposium. It's supposed to be next month, but they're probably going to postpone it. I'm not sure what's going to happen with ITM Wired, but these are places where you can actually make connections. And Sandy's was in the audience, and she's a member of the Rotary, and we're going to get a Rotary, maybe her and another Rotary person on. They have those weekly events, and they want to get more diversity, in the Rotary thing, and just to kind of understand that. AchaCon coming up. Let's hopefully we can get the COVID under control so we can participate in that. But they did it virtual last year. They can do it virtual again this year. So this is a conference, that's put on by Fearless. They're one of the, I believe they're one of the venture funds, that target black founders. So our job with Startup on the Blocks is to kind of connect you to the resources. They're there, and we want to connect you. And these are some local and also here in the state of Florida kind of things to kind of help you get connected as well. Those are available to all founders, and for founders of color, this link is just kind of give you aware of some of those resources out there. And we have a little small group that are working on our regional Black ecosystem, and we're developing a similar list, and we should have that out soon. And so these are just a couple of newsletters, but there's tons of newsletters you can sign up for, and they alert you to a lot of the stuff you see opportunities up there. And some of our previous guests and some of the stuff we did, we sort of put some of those key links down here, just so you can be aware of why we're doing Startup on the Blocks, and and just trying to get more inclusion in there. So if anybody has any questions on any of that type of stuff, I feel free to jump into the chat there as well. And so so my strategy, with my startup was, to follow the lean startup methodology and leverage the ecosystem to help me get the training I need, the expertise I need, and also the funding I need to fund the development of a product. And so the one key idea is that you you it's not in the beginning all you have is an idea, and that's all you're expected to have as an idea, and and then but you literally have to learn to pitch that idea even before it's even validated, and then as once you start pitching it, then you can take advantage of the ecosystem to kind of help you keep refining it and moving, throughout the lean startup methodology, to the point where you have the MVP to move forward. I think next I'll show you a short video, and then I'll come back with a presentation to do. So let's see, can I get it up and running here? Just bear with me a second. 10. Okay, over you. My favorite person, and he's going to be one of our guests coming up soon. Vercel and I had a chance to chat with him yesterday, and we're looking at the possibility of using some of his stuff for our in-house pre-accelerator and accelerator program stuff. So take a listen to this interview with Ash just to kind of get more familiar with the background behind this lean startup methodology. Get back.
Ash, you talk about that we are living in a new world. Can you explain that for us?
So what has changed today is if you just look around, it has become cheaper and faster to build products. And as a result of that, we find a lot more products in the world than at any time in history. And that creates new challenges. So that, I would say, is the thing that has changed, is cost of product development has gone down. The bigger question is now, what products do we build? Not necessarily can we build products.
Well, okay. And how to survive that? What really matters?
So when you've got so many products, obviously there's more competition, which also means customers have more choice. And so it becomes increasingly important to build the right product while going super fast. Because if you take too long, you're not going to find the right market. So that's the real challenge. That's how you survive. The speed has become the new unfair advantage.
So why are most of the companies not ready for that?
So whenever there's a new way of doing things, you're always going to find challenges adapting. And that is fundamentally the biggest reason, is that when you're going really fast, trying to build products, we're not used to that. We have come from a world where there wasn't so much competition. You could spend time trying to analyze and build the right product. Now we're finding that you have to go faster. So that oftentimes is the biggest thing that you need to adapt to.
Okay, so you are saying that the biggest barrier is our nature, which means we don't like to change?
Yeah, so humans are essentially creatures of habit. And habits are generally, most of the times, a good thing. So when we create habits, we create them so we don't have to think too much. We can go into auto mode. But every time, now and then, when changes happen, so even in a real world scenario, when, for example, you have a new child or new baby, there are going to be new habits that have to be formed, and it's challenging. And we know that to be true. So it's no different than product development methods.
At this moment, our market is obsessed with agility and agile approach. How do you compare with lean with agile, and what's the difference?
Yeah, so it's really an evolution. We sometimes used to joke in the early days that lean is essentially agile plus, so it's the next version of it. And fundamentally what's different is in agile, we use iterations, we're trying to build the right thing, but we focus a lot on build velocity. What Lean does is it adds another step. It tries to define further what done means in Agile, and done in Lean only means when the customer validates what we build. So that to me is how I describe it, is we have to take a step of not just building what we think is the right thing, but measuring and learning as well. And that's where Lean comes in and extends Agile.
Ash, can you give us some story of your customers or success stories you have by implementing the Lean for the companies?
Sure. And so we've worked with many different kinds of customers, from startups to bigger companies, but I'll focus on a bigger company example. So we are working with a bank in Finland, the third largest bank. And we are working with a team that had in the past tried to pitch their idea to managers, were not able to do it. And so we encourage them to go and talk to their bank customers and apply some of the techniques. So go to them, do some discovery interviews. And one of the things we suggested is record some of these interviews. And so they went, and just the nice thing with banks is you know where your customers are. So you find them at their lunch break. They went and talked to some customers. They did some problem understanding, did some customer solution interviews, built some mock-ups. All this was in their part-time, just during lunch hours. They went back to their managers and showed what the customers were saying, and they instantly created a resonance of, here's a product we should build. And instead of getting fired or scolded, they actually got the resources they needed to move forward.
What we can see with our customers while using all those Lean methodologies, a lot of people say, it's just common sense. They sounds easy, but in the end of the day, they don't use it. So how do you address that problem?
Yes. So most of these ideas are simple, but simple ideas are never easy to implement. And we always attribute that to existing behaviors. So once you have a way you have learned how to build products and you see something different, even though you can logically buy into it, underlying, you have to do things that are uncomfortable, and people don't like discomfort. So some of the things we teach people is don't build a product, sell it first. And a lot of people who like to build products don't like to sell. A lot of people who like to sell want to sell something that's built. So you get already some of those tensions, is how can we do this? So it's a lot of these things are easy, but putting them to practice is a bit counterintuitive. So this is where I try to spend a lot of time creating some how-to step-by-step frameworks and manuals, interview scripts and techniques, both for the engineers, the designers, the marketers, salespeople, all to kind of use together.
We mostly work with established companies and big corporates. Do you think the Lean is good for them?
Sure. So the nice thing with big companies is that in theory, they should never lose. They have existing customers, they have resources. The biggest reason we find that they move slowly, which is often the reason for missing on the market, is that they don't spend the requisite time talking to their own customers. So Lean is absolutely very relevant to them. And some of the outcomes it can help create is improving existing products, so finding unmet needs and wants of customers, improving those. But what's even more exciting is that you can find new markets to begin with. So that is where you find new sources of revenue. There's a lot of uncertainty. You can treat yourself to move faster than you normally do, and that's where you find new spaces for innovation.
Okay, as a really well-known innovator, what's the question you getting the most?
I guess the most popular question at a very specific level is, what do I think of somebody's idea? And then that framed kind of in a trend perspective is, where do I think the next big trends are, or where are big ideas going to come from? And I tell people the same thing, is if I knew that, if I could predict the future, I wouldn't be giving you advice. I would be building what you're building, or trying to build the best product. So no one can see the future. And so what we try to tell people is that the framework that we teach is really about asking the right questions and teaching you how to find the answers, but I don't have all the answers.
Okay, so they want to hear magic answer if their business will work and fly. Okay. What about your methodology and Lean? Do you still work on it? It's done, or it's never gonna be done?
So I joke, it's like a piece of software or a book. It's never done. You only release it every now and then. So the framework, if you look at it from an outcome perspective, we are trying to find better, faster ways to build products that matter. And we have got some answers, but there are always places for improvement. So we are always constantly refining and studying other frameworks, we tend to look at our framework as a framework of frameworks. So we borrow a lot of ideas from lean startup, design thinking, jobs to be done. And tomorrow, if people come up with better ways to look at things, we'll adapt them. So that's how we look at it.
Righty. So I hope that gives you all a good idea on.
Hey, I'm Russ Ruffino.
On what that lean startup methodology is about, but Ash, he's been around a long time, and it's you really have to kind of learn it, because otherwise you're going to be in the ecosystem. You'll be spinning your wheels, because the ecosystem is totally based on the methodology and moving forward with the product or service that you're going to build there. Yeah. So we're gonna we got a couple of speakers coming up in the future, and you just saw Ash, but we'll get him to come on. Versel and I had a chance to meet with him yesterday. He's actually got a product. I think it's like an accelerator in a box, but it's got all the best practices in it, and so we'll be looking to see if we can incorporate that in our with our startup founders and our portfolio startups. And so we're excited that he's finally came up with something that really that incorporates the lean startup methodology. And thanks to Entrepreneur Ecosystem Working Group, we got connected with Faye Harris. She's got a national program. She works with cities all across the country, and we got connected with her through the Ecosystem Working Group. And so she'll come on beginning of next month, and we'll learn about her story and how she literally grew her Florida cities and helping out a lot of different types of businesses, including startups. So we're at our first year, and I haven't dug deep into all the statistics about what we've been doing. But these are just some highlights, and I'll talk to these in just regards to how it applies to the lean startup methodology and how it applies to the ecosystem. And so we those purple thing with the two pitch competition, we had two pitch competitions, and they was small, but we got a total of 70 applicants, and we ended up with our second pitch competition, inviting all the semifinalists into our summer cohort. But the idea of the pitch competition is just to kind of attract people into the ecosystems, because if you're not familiar with it, you can't actually take advantage of it. Now, once you get into the internal programs that we have with Startup on the Blocks, with those portfolio companies, we offer you some free tools like the Startup Rocket, and if we're able to incorporate that accelerator in a box, it's a little bit more comprehensive than that. We'll move forward with that, and then we also have mentoring and the office hours, for the startups, and also the Lean Time IO, which is actually based on the Lean Startup methodology, where you can actually do your project management for building out your MVP, and also all the work that your startup is doing. All the members of your team, you can actually task them on that and kind of manage your milestones. And because a lot of the programs that are out there now, they're literally based on your milestones and what's your next milestone, and all that kind of good stuff. So we kind of offer those too. So, but typically when you have an accelerator program, which and without a pre-accelerator type program, we don't offer any cash for while participating in that program, and so it's up to the founder, and the co-founders to kind of move forward through that process, so we've been struggling with that a little bit. So we're going to look for some more alternative ways where it can become even more competitive to actually get in our pre-accelerated program. So because we are be able to start offering funding for participating in there, and so the bottom line is the first accelerator program I got in back in 2015, it offered 25,000, and so it was based on you reaching your milestones. So your first milestone you may got $7,000 or something, but if you didn't reach it, you didn't get the $7,000. And so we need to have some type of carrot out there to kind of encourage the founders to kind of spend some time and work on what they're doing. And so through this event and the networking, we've had almost 1,200 participants, but the deal is I think the network meetings in the green box there, that's just showing the connections that the times you're on network there. So that's pretty neat. We got several sponsors, and we're actually still working on getting some more sponsors to move our programs forward. One of the local banks want to help us out, so we look forward to kind of seeing how that will run. And we're still looking for a metric, to kind of get on top of, because like when we send out that email each week and you click on a link or you take advantage of one of those things, or if we refer you to the G Beta program, G Alpha program, or some other program, we don't have a really good way of tracking it. So we're still working on that metric. So whenever you take advantage of something, shoot us an email to let us know, what you benefited from that, so we can start keeping track of that metric. Okay. All righty. So these are some of our core sponsors for Startup on the Blocks. So Innisfree Hotel has been sponsoring our pitch competitions, and we also had with our first one we had a tie, for third place, I believe, and so Vercel, he decided to donate some money for that, so we can actually give 2 third prizes of equal value. So that was a pretty neat deal. The Gulf Coast Minority Chamber, Brian leads that, and he's our pitch. He's all offered our pitch not the finalists, but the top winners, the membership in the chamber. But he's also been working with us and partners sharing our information. The same with the Pensacola Chamber. They offered memberships to our first place winner, and the Small Business Development Center. At UWF, they've been instrumental. We spent a lot of time with Bree helping us out, even just a lot of help and a lot of mentoring of the startup founders and stuff there. So that's been really great. And I don't know what we'd do without Bantucola and Chris Hendricks. He's partnered with us and setting up the streams on Facebook, LinkedIn for our events, just to kind of help spread the word out there. And Gulf Power came aboard, with as a founding sponsor as well, and so they're always support anything that has to do with economic development and creating new jobs. And so they've been a really good partner in the community for our Startup on the Blocks program. But this, to me, this set aside money for Black and Brown founders that's out there, majority of it is based on you applying for different programs and applying for pitch competitions, and so we want you to learn how to pitch your idea and learn how to when you're applying for some of those things, you literally are pitching your idea whether you believe it or not, because some of the things they require you to send in a video, but if you're just writing down what the answers to the application, you're literally pitching your idea, and so you have to get that foundation in order to move forward. And so we need you all out there in the audience to kind of help us with getting more people involved in the startup ecosystem, and to kind of move your learn about it. Not when I say get more people interested or aware of it, they don't have to have a business idea. They just need to be aware. So when they meet somebody that's got a business idea, they can tell them about it or get them connected to it. And so that's what the idea here. We want the ecosystem is there. We want to help make it more inclusive, and so like for us here in Pensacola, Northwest Florida, we want some founders of color to kind of build some startups, make some money and create some jobs and build up some wealth in the community. So it's when you participate in Startup on the Blocks, it's not just for you, it's for you to be able to share the information to kind of get more people involved in it, because that's our objective is to make more people aware of it, get them involved in it, and so if they got an idea, we want them to be able to move forward. Our playbook is simple. You have an idea, or even before you have an idea, you want to learn the methodology, how to turn that idea into reality. And so we talk about that startup school all the time because it's free training, but you have to sit down and go through it. And the training literally is you working on your startup. How often do you get training where you actually work, you're doing your business as the case study for the training? That's a pretty neat things. And so like in all those sites out there where you can actually build your profile, like f6s.com. And literally all you're doing is increasing your awareness, because when the people start looking for people to send an email to apply for their program, they leverage those databases, and they see that you're participated in this program, that pitch competition, and it just builds up your credibility. But you have to lay the foundation so you can become a known quantity throughout the world. So I even, like since I've been over to Poland, I actually, still get emails from different accelerators over there to come over there and set up shop, to kind of move forward. There's opportunities everywhere, but you just have to kind of do it. So our weekly events definitely will help you meet people and help you learn stuff that actually can move you forward. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I do. And so my philosophy in life is no matter what I'm doing or what my job is, I learn about the resources that have helped me do my job. And when I start learning about this startup ecosystem, somebody's going to help, help me, pay for my startup. Somebody's going to help teach me and tell me what I need to do to move forward. Somebody's going to mentor me, all of these things are, free of charge. There's plenty resources out there that they actually charge, but I've been pretty successful, on leveraging the ones that actually don't charge. And I, I think there's plenty opportunities out there that you don't really have to spend money. But the key thing is, if you're trying to build something and there's free help out there, to help you build it and to reduce your expenses for building your product, and they want you to grow your business really fast, that's pretty neat. We have much more to look at here. And so one of the things that I'm interested in is, and what I like about the startup ecosystem, it helps you overcome a lot of these barriers. But there's still barriers, but a lot of stuff is online now, so you still can get access to it. And so I was reading this report, out of the Midwest, and it was talking about these barriers that kind of hold minority businesses, Black businesses back. And it was saying access, to management knowledge. How do you manage a startup? How do you get the experience and exposure? It's just, if you don't have the connections, sometimes you're dead in the water. But the startup ecosystem literally allows you. There are different things in there that actually help you out in that. The next one, it says access to market and business connections. And so, the different, they have different verticals for different accelerator programs and pitch competitions. And so when you apply for those, you actually, get access to those. And the accelerator programs, they're based on different markets, verticals out there. So, and everybody always say, I can't do my business. I don't have no capital. Where's the money for me to do my business? And so that's always a challenge for everyone. But when you see all these programs that provide funding, how would you like to be one of the founders that get into Google for Black founders and startups that just offer 100,000, and all you have to do is work on your milestones and reach your milestones, and so it's just these opportunities are out there. And the last one, knowledge and information exchange, that's what networking is literally all about. And so when I was the first accelerator program I got in, they connected us with mentors and people in the industry, and my business model for Cognitive was based on what I learned from them. And one of my mentors, and he still mentors us today, like if I have a business question, how do you do something like that? He's a retired executive from BAE Systems, and so they did it before, so I don't have to be in the dark, and that's but you have to leverage the ecosystem to get past these barriers. And this is kind of a little bit of recap on when we talked to Ash yesterday. He showed us this chart and for what the deal is, and it was pretty eye-opening. Because it kind of shows you this approach to success using the lean startup methodology. The lean. You have to learn the framework to move forward. But what was interesting, and Versal and I was meeting with him yesterday. The program that they have, they separated out, between this business model design, and then it's actually so during this thing you're literally learning how to pitch your idea clearly and concisely, and so the lean canvas that's what you use. But you spend this time here, and in his approach, you're not actually validating an idea here. You're just spending the time to get this, because this is a gate. If you don't get this right, it doesn't do you any good to do all this other stuff, and that's the whole point. So when we first got started with the uh, uh, let's start up on the box. One of the first lessons we had was the lean canvas, because everything you do when you put in a pitch application, or accelerator program, you literally put in stuff that's based on what you did in the lean canvas. When you enter a pitch competition or do a pitch, you're literally pitching the things that's in that lean canvas. And so if you don't get that right, it's not going to do you any good to do this other stuff. And so the program that he's designed, it literally separates out into two parts. So the people who are early on and trying to figure out their idea and their business model, and so the people that are in the G Alpha program, I thought this is what they're doing now. I'm not 100% sure, but it's all about trying to get your idea and validate that idea, or start validating, going out talking to customers and potential customers and do it. And so here you're pitching something that doesn't exist. And you got an idea how you can make money with it, and and the rest of it you're building and you're moving forward. So I think in our program, Start Up on the Blocks, we have quite a few people in that idea stage, and some people that are already in business. They have an idea to solve a problem related to their business, and so they need to build this business model thing. You have to take the time to build it, and be able to articulate what your idea is, and so to kind of move forward. And everything else becomes a lot easier, when you can articulate what you're doing and people can understand it, and then they can help you move forward with it. But until you settle down and do this work, you're out, you're out of luck. You can hear about all this other stuff, and you can say, well, I can't get in this program, I can't get in that program. I need this much money. I need this, But the bottom line is, you participate in the ecosystem, and you find the connections that you actually need to move forward. Yes, and so I was trying to kind of see where Start Up on the Blocks, and I still haven't figured out the best chart to kind of portray this. And when you think about these barriers to success, and people always talk about this capital one, and people, even here in the ecosystem here, we need the venture fund, we need the venture capital. But what about that funnel teaching people how to do this stuff? And the venture capital is up here. What are you doing to get people to that point? Is kind of what the way I look at it. And then so like mentoring is definitely a key thing. So when but people will say access to capital is my number one problem. But if you don't have the information on how to build your product, or the management stuff, who's going to give you capital? You have to leverage these different G Alpha, G Beta, generator programs, as an example, to learn, and get these connections to the markets. So like the third accelerator program I participated in, it was in this category, access to market and business connection. So it was a corporate accelerator. So they actually, literally, was for a particular market, and they actually connected you with the customer, to kind of move forward. What kind of deal is that? And and the one I did with Avis Budget, it was all about, it was a mobility one, and the one I did in Poland, it was using my same technology in the property management, property tech space, and so that's kind of what it is. But in each case, got tens of thousands of dollars to work on my product to kind of move it forward, to kind of understand what the customer is really looking for. And so these four things here, we try to, so the weekly newsletter, so you see, is helping with telling you what the capital is, but I can, and these accelerator programs that are in there. But the problem is, if you don't have the proper business knowledge and experience and have the right business model that can scale, it's still going to be hard for you to get your capital. And the way, in the Lean Startup methodology, the idea is that your customers are telling you this is what they want even before you build it, and so you got to get over this idea that these traditional business where you go out and open up a storefront, you can do that, but in the startup world, is that you're going to get to the point where you can build your product service, but you're only building it because you validated that somebody's going to buy it. It's something new that actually hasn't been done before, and so that's kind of what the idea is. But we're trying to, with Startup on the Blocks, we're trying to get rid of all the barriers, that kind of hold you back, and that's the purpose of it. But the folks that actually participated in our cohort, they, you have to, you can have to take advantage of these networking opportunities and get prepared to apply for those programs. And so, so help us identify people that may or may not have ideas, and so they can become aware, and then, if they, they can attend this and these different events, or get connected to the email list and learn about things that can actually help them learn. But then, when they do get an idea, they can leverage the ecosystem to kind of move forward. And so that was the bulk of what I had today. But we just wanted to make sure you understood what we're trying to do here with Startup on the Blocks, and we definitely want to help our area move forward with the stuff we're doing. Yes, and if there are any questions out there, I'll be glad to answer them. And we're looking for some exciting things in our second year, and so we're going to work real hard to get the accelerator in a box program that Ash is marketing right now, and leverage, because what I think about that is literally the best practices, and that's what we want to be here for. It's helping everybody learn the best practices before you go out there and waste money. You don't want to be out there spending money, and so you want to know the best practices for moving forward. Anybody have any questions, ideas they want to share? We appreciate all the happy anniversary accolades, Promise, Angel, and Collie. I haven't met Collie yet, but appreciate you joining us out there. And we definitely want to thank our AmeriCorps Vista volunteers who've been helping us out. Vercel Vance, he's our entrepreneurship coordinator, and Carolyn Richardson, she's our support person for entrepreneurship, and she's going to be on the phone, kind of herding you all through the steps of, through the startup rocket to kind of move forward. And our whole team, Lloyd Jr. and everybody that's been helping out over the year, and so we just truly appreciate all the support, from everyone. And and I would like folks to also, share, our social media posts on social media. We really appreciate that. And the Kukua Institute, we have a bunch more sponsors, and so these are some of the sponsors that kind of, helping us move forward. We're hoping to bring on, some more sponsors as well. Yeah. Alrighty. So that's about it for me. Anybody out there have anything they want to share in the comments there? Thanks for tuning in. And thanks for stopping by. Let's see. Andy, Bree, Angel, Bruce, Carlos.
Well, hey, Dad, how's it going?
Good.
I see Bree did have a great question. When is the next pitch competition?
Good question. We were due to have one probably sometime next month, so we're still working on it, Bree, and we're gonna be happy when we can break that $2,000 barrier and get the $5,000 and make it a little bit more interesting and exciting. I think I'm going to update my sponsorship form to also to maybe get some type of stipend for our next cohort as well. To kind of move that forward. Yes, we're definitely excited and looking forward to our second year. Our goal was to have a quarterly pitch competition for this first year. We ended up with 2, and but we were actually close. We were almost was ready for that third one, but we're gonna keep working on it. But yeah, but don't just wait for our pitch competitions. There's plenty of other ones out there, but you got to get ready.
Yeah, I just also want to say congratulations to a full year. The amount of work that you have to do in the background is not always seen, but your effect and your reach is palpable. So hats off to you, Dad, for all your work. It's been a year, and this is just the beginning. So everyone, definitely tell your friends, your family, your neighbors, if they have a business idea and they don't know where to go, this is the place to come. This is it. We will help you get started and help your idea develop, because we don't have all the answers. Not one of us has all the answers. But with this community and connecting with other startups and other organizations throughout the United States and world even, this is how we begin to build wealth. So, and we build equity in our community, in the Black community, with people of color, and those who have been outside of the startup ecosystem. So that's what we want to bring, this opportunity, even if it's kind of scary sounding at first. Jump right on in.
Yes. The startup stuff is exciting and scary and fun. Yeah, and we over the past month, I think hopefully we can partner with Florida cities to kind of leverage the knowledge that they have to move forward. We connected with Synapse Florida, and we hoping that leads to some opportunities as well. we're connected to the Southeast Business Hub, and we've encouraged all you all to kind of, register your business and startups on that. It's both for startups and traditional businesses. And so we're connected with Goody Nation, and they're connected to a lot of stuff, and so it's just tons of stuff, and we just and it's not just startup on the block. So there's groups of people meeting here. The chambers, in addition, Brian, the Minority Chamber is partnering with the Greater Pensacola Chamber and focusing on, doing some stuff focusing on minority businesses. And so it's literally no shortage of efforts being made to help support startups, and so we're definitely excited to be a part of it, and we're hoping to bring on some more financial partners to kind of help us move things forward. And so, submitted a package this morning to a bank, and we're hoping that we can. So we're here for the long run, and we're excited, and so we're trying to make connections just like you all are. But we need you all to, the ones that are in our portfolio companies, we need you all to do the work and get prepared to do it, and don't put it off. And again, thank everyone. We definitely want to thank our local ecosystem folks, the other work that the CoLab is doing, and Pat over there is always even supporting financially, and all the programs that they're doing at the spring. And so that's pretty neat to have like like with the G Beta program, to have the third round will actually start this fall. And so that's opportunities to kind of do so. But like I said, you got to be hungry, you got to be ready to kind of move forward. So it looks like I don't see any questions, so I guess we can say happy anniversary to everybody, and we really thank you all for chiming in, and we really appreciate it. Get your friends to come to the networking, so we can actually keep making these connections and moving forward. I look forward to meeting all the ones I didn't meet. See you all next week, and we'll have something good for you. Bye-bye, everyone.